Hello, we're gonna get started doing a Pilates ball class. So go ahead and grab your small Pilates ball and we'll start in a standing position. So starting with just stretching our chest and our shoulders. So just stand comfortably with your feet about hip distance or so apart. Inhale, stretching your arms up to the sky. Just do a good morning stretch to start, kind of lifting your heart. I'm kind of going into a little bit of a back bend, opening everything up. Maybe a little side flexion. Up and over to the other side, really reaching. And then coming back to the center. So we're gonna hold the ball in the right hand. We're gonna circle it to the lower back. Really work on opening through the chest, the shoulders, all the way up overhead. We're gonna go in the same direction, 9, and up, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more in this direction, pausing at the top. Let's reverse it, back and up to the left. 8, 2 more, 9, last one, 10, and up. So now I'm going to draw my feet a little bit closer together. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. But you're going to do a squat. So you're going to continue to circle, but you're squatting down, drawing the ball under your thighs, standing all the way up to the sky. Drawing down and up. Squeezing the hips forward at the top, opening the front chain of the body. 2, 1, pause at the top, and of course we reverse those circles, sinking down and up. Trying hard to keep your heart lifted, your spine tall, for 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way up and release. So now I'm going to place my ball between my inner thighs. So just above the knees, feet are parallel. You can do whatever feels natural with your arms, but you're feeling this inner thigh squeezing in on the ball, and you're squatting down, standing tall, squeezing at the top. 2, I went paddleboarding yesterday, and because I haven't stopped working out since all of this, my legs, especially with Tucker being 95 pounds, were so tired. I was like, I just wish I had a kayak right now. Last one. We're gonna stay low and hold. Pulse the hips down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay low. Squeeze the ball in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stand tall. So the add-on is lifting the heels, dropping the heels, then squatting down. So roll through all the 10 toes as you lift the heels, lower the heels, squat down, stand tall, lift, lower. Lower and lift. So now we're going to stay low in our squat, lift and lower our heels. Sink down and heels. Lift and lower. Feel like it comes from the tops of the thighs, not that your body is rocking forward and back. It's really getting into those quads. 8, 9, 10, stand tall. You're gonna sink down, keep your heels lifted, and squeeze the ball. Sink low, heels are up, squeeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand tall. Take your ball out. We're gonna come to our mat. So come to seated. Your ball, you're gonna kind of shove it like right into your tail. So it's not gonna roll away when you come up to seated, okay? Your feet are planted. Definitely have your legs kind of far away from you so the bend isn't like too close to your body, but further out. So it'll help the hip flexors from taking over. Arms out long in front of you. Take a deep breath in. Exhale as you start from your pelvis, feeling like your belly button is pushing your back down into the ball. You only go so far as the ribs stay down. You don't want to extend over it here. And then curl your way back up to seated. Tucking under, rolling back into the ball. Exhale, folding the ribs to curl you back up. Keeping your focus straight ahead, not allowing your head to hang as you roll back. One more. Curling all the way back up. So now we're gonna rotate out to the side. So the arm will sweep. So you're gonna start from your tail, tucking under, rolling back, sweeping the right arm open, gazing in the direction where you're going, curling all the way back up to seated. We're alternating sides. Rolling back first, then reaching. Exhale all the way up. Rolling back and reach. Making sure your body stays to the side that you're reaching to. Sometimes we kind of lean in the opposite direction, trying to get a little further or a little deeper. Just go where your body is able to maintain strength and control. Your range of motion is not that important. It's all about maintaining the correct engaged muscles. One more either side. And center. Now you're going to do hands behind the head. This makes it a little bit more challenging on your range of motion. You'll feel it more when you start to come up. Scooping the tail under, rolling back, bone by bone. Keep the ribs zipping down towards the hips. Use those abdominals to curl you up to seated. Rolling back, bone by bone. Feeling the butt bones narrow as you roll back. They widen as you come up to seated. Three more. Two. One more time, rolling back through the center line. Exhale, curling your way back up to seated. Now we're gonna rotate our ribs towards the right at the top of this movement because we're gonna stay on the right side the entire time. Scooping the tail under, stay to the right side as you roll back, keeping the ribs folding down towards the hips. Now round your way back up. I'm still in that rotation. Rolling down, bone by bone. Exhale, curling through the abdominals back up to seated. 3. I forgot to tell you, ball work is a lot of ab work. 4. 5. 3. 3 more. Feel like the left rib wraps towards the right hip. Hips are square, knees are still pointing straight up to the sky. Last one on this side, rolling back, curling all the way back up. Rotate through the center, and we'll do the other side. Stay in the twist to the left, scooping the tail under, rounding down the left side. Exhale, curling your way back up. You may feel that one side feels completely different than the other one. Sometimes I feel like my left side is a separate entity from my right. Either doesn't work or he's working really hard. Three more. Feeling that right rib crossing up and over towards the left rib. 2. Keeping your chin away from your chest, keeping that distance. Last one. Exhale, curling all the way up to seated. Let's take our ball out from the lower back. We're gonna put it right between the shoulder blades, right below the low rib line there. And then like for everybody, like the thoracic spine can tend to be pretty tight. So I would err on the higher up towards the head as opposed down towards the lower back. Because the goal is to keep the lower back nice and long and rounded and not feeling any pain in the lower back. So hands go behind the head, keeping your tail heavy, feet grounded. Inhale as the upper abs open over the ball. Exhale as you fold the ribs, curling head and chest up, but also feeling like you're reprieving your weight from the ball, so you're not squishing that ball. Inhaling as you go back. Exhale, curling forward, and feel that weight reprieving away from the ball, getting that little deeper crunch into those abdominals. Two more. Last one. Going back over the ball, stretch out those upper abdominals. So when we add on, we're going to lift the right leg to tabletop as we curl through the center. And we're going to stay on the same side 5 times. So deep breath in to prepare. Exhale as the upper abs curl forward, lifting that right leg. Also feel like you're reprieving your weight from the ball, and then control the foot down, control the spine back for 5. Same side. Exhale, curling forward, lifting, and control as you lower for 4. Exhale, scoop into the belly, lift into those upper abs for 3. Exhale, folding from the hip, lifting the thigh to tabletop for 2. One more time. Exhale, curling up through the center line, lowering the head and the leg down. Now I'm going to keep my right hand behind the head, but I'm going to extend the left leg up, or left arm overhead. So left arm's overhead, and I'm going to straighten my right leg out long. So deep breath in to prepare. As I curl the head and chest up, sweep the left arm down, kick the right arm up to the sky, and then stretch everything apart in opposition. Exhale, kicking the leg up, lifting through the left arm, folding forward, and reaching apart. Lift for 3, and lower. Upper abs are working for 2. Good. Keeping your gaze forward as you lift. Last one, and lower it down. Drawing the left hand behind the head, planting both feet on the mat. Deep breath in. We're going to the left side. Left leg to tabletop, upper abs curl forward for 5. Inhaling, reaching apart. Exhale, lift for 4. And lower, curl for 3. Reach in opposition. Exhale for 2. And last time, lift and lower. The left leg straightens out long. The right arm goes long overhead. Deep breath in to prepare. As you curl forward, kicking that left leg straight up to the sky, and control as you reach in opposition. Fold and curling everything up and reaching down. 3 more. Lift and lower. 2. Lift and lower. Last one, lift. Lower everything back and plant your feet down. Drawing your hands behind your head. Upper abs, curl the head and chest forward. Stay lifted, head is heavy in the hands. Right leg floats up to tabletop, lower it down. Left leg floats up to tabletop and lower. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Hardest part is trying not to feel any shift or change in the pelvis. Staying lifted through those upper abdominals and using those lower abdominals to keep your hips completely steady. Last set each side. Lower the foot, let the head go back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale as those upper abs curl the head and chest forward. Float the right leg to table, hold it there. Float the left leg to table, hold it there. Begin to march from the hips, tapping one foot down and the other. 2, 3, gazes forward, 4, 5, 6, 2 more. Last one. And lower the feet, let the head go back. One last variation is both legs lower lift together. Deep breath in to prepare. Exhale, upper abs. Curl the head and chest forward. Float the right leg, float the left leg. Stay lifted in those upper abs. Both legs lower. Exhale, folding in. Open through the front of the hips and close as you fold back in. 3, exhale deep into those lower abs. Neck is heavy into those hands, folding from the ribs to stay lifted. For 5, exhale, 4, don't let the spine shift or change. For 3, exhale, 2, one more time, lift, and let the feet go down, the head go back. Stretch your arms overhead and release those upper abs. Good. Deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. And then you're going to carefully roll yourself up. You're going to take your ball out from under your mid-back. We're going to place the ball between our knees. Go ahead and plant those feet and lay all the way back down. So your knees are squeezing in on the ball. Feet are planted parallel. So as we bridge our hips up, we're also going to wave the arms. So arms reach, hips reach, everything lifts, opening up through the front side of the body. Keep those ribs zipped together towards the hips. Keep the arms reaching back as the spine rolls all the way down, and then the arms come down by your sides. Everything lifts as one, reaching open. Roll the back down one bone at a time. Arms come down by your sides. Rolling everything up, reaching. Feel the knees reach forward towards your toes. Melt through the spine, one bone at a time. Arms come down by your sides. 3 more. Lift and reach, stretching open the front side of the body. And stretch through the lower back as you melt down. Root down through the feet. Lift and reach the hips up, squeezing the glutes at the top. And roll through the spine, one bone at a time. Last one, everything lifts up, stretching open. Melt the back down, one bone at a time. Arms come down by your sides. For this next round of bridging, your arms are going to stay by your sides. The hips lift up. Feel the knees reach forward toward your toes, so there isn't a lot of pressure on the shoulders or the neck. And squeeze the ball for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the hips pulse. Keep the squeeze on the ball and pulse the hips up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a deep breath in. Exhale as you melt the spine all the way back down. So you're going to keep the ball between the knees, but you're going to extend the left leg out long. So your inner thighs are really working to hold the ball between the knees. You can flex through the foot or point through that left foot. Our hips are going to lift and lower. Tap. Lift and lower. 3 and lower. Squeeze. 4. Pressing through the back of the arms and shoulders. 2 more. Last one. And down. Lower that left foot down. Extend the right leg out long. Keep squeezing those inner thighs on the ball. Both of the hips. Lift and lower. 2 and lower. 3. Keep those inner thighs squeezing. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And lower. So we're going to drop our ball. And we're going to place our right foot directly on top of the ball. Arms still long by the sides, still going into bread. And you want to feel your whole foot pressing into the ball. A lot of times I see just the heel. Try really hard to maintain that constant foot connection. Pressing evenly into both of the feet as your hips lift. Yes, you should feel more on that right leg. Lowering all the way down. And lift, pressing down. And melt through the spine. 3. And lower. 4. 2 more. Last one. Hold it here. Now that right foot, squeeze down, push, down, press. Heavier into the ball for 5. Exhale, 6. 4 more. 7. Press. 8. 2 more. 9. Last one. 10. Hold it here. Push the leg away. Pull the leg back in. Push it away. Pull it in. For 3. Feeling like you're dragging the ball with the back of the thigh. Pressing through the back of the arms and shoulders. 6. 2 more. 7. Last one. Pull it underneath you. Hold and lower it all the way down. Switch your feet so the left foot has the ball. Remember, the whole foot is pressing down into the ball. Deep breath in to prepare. Exhale as the hips lift and lower. Press and lower. 3. Squeezing down, pressing up. 2 more. 9. Last one. Stay lifted. The left foot pushes down. Release. Press. Release. Press. Release. Press. Release. Press. Release. 4 more. 3. Squeezing into that hamstring and glute for 2. 1. Stay lifted. Extend the leg out. Pull the leg in. Push and pull. Feel that the hamstring and the glute are pulling that ball in towards your body for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it in, push down into the ball, deep breath in, and roll all the way down. Take both of your feet so that the ankles get the ball and extend those legs long. Full roll-ups. Inhale those arms to the sky. Exhale as you root down through the heels. Curl through the upper abs, rounding all the way forward. Stretching it out at the top. Rolling up to seated. And melt through the spine, one bone at a time. Inhale, reaching at the bottom. Exhale as those upper abs curl you forward, lifting all the way up. Stretch and reach over at the top. Sitting up nice and tall and melt through the spine, one bone at a time. 2 more of these. Inhale, reach. Exhaling as you lift. Stretching it over at the top. Rolling up to seated and melting through the spine. 1 more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale as you curl. Stretching all the way forward at the top. And sitting up nice and tall. Good. So separate your legs about as wide as your mat. Draw your hands so they're on top of the ball. So I want you to think of like depressing down into the ball as you round, so that you get this like accordion sensation of your abdominals. So sitting nice and tall, hands on the ball. Deep breath in. Start from your chin, nodding your head to your chest, depressing down into the ball with the arms, shoulders and pockets. I'm getting it around the ball forward. The ball goes to my forearms, and I'm still depressing down into the ball. And now I'm going to scoop my belly towards my spine as I stack my spine one bone at a time, drawing back up to a tall seated spine. Exhale as the head dives forward, curl and round, reaching and depressing down into the ball. Root down through the glutes, feel that deep scoop in the belly, and then roll it up from lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, head. 2 more. Nod the head in, press into the ball, rounding the spine forward, scooping and hollowing out the abdominals as you stretch forward, stacking up from the lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, head. 2 more. Depressing down, this is your last one. Depressing down, rounding forward, reaching out. Keep rolling and depressing into the ball as you round the spine all the way up to seated. Good. Now we're placing the ball under our pelvis. So laying back down onto the mat, lift the hips up, and your technical term is right between the lower back and your top butt. Lower back, top butt. So I want my spine to stay neutral, to stay long, right? I don't want to be arching over the ball with my ribs flaring, my tail pointing towards my heels. I want my ribs knit together, and I want my points of my ribs and my hips drawing toward each other. My glutes are relaxed, okay? You can always keep your arms down by your sides. This gives you a little bit more stability. But I like to cross my arms over my chest and my shoulders. So the only thing truly balancing me is my shoulder blades and the back of my head. So my feet are narrow, about hip distance apart, really focusing on stabilizing the pelvis and this trunk as I float my right leg up to tabletop. And then I'm lowering that leg back down. Rooting down into the right foot, lift the left leg to tabletop and lower. Hardest part is trying not to feel any shifting from right to left side. Really rooting down through the shoulders, the back of the head, as well as the pelvis. Keeping the points of the ribs, the points of the hips narrowing in and drawing toward each other like magnets. The hinge comes from the hip crease. The rest of the leg is relaxed at a 90-degree bend. Last at each side. And lower. So now we're going to go a little bit more difficult. Drawing the right leg up to tabletop. Maintain that balance as the left leg comes up to meet it. So again, if your balance is a little bit challenging today, you can always keep your arms down by your sides. So we're hinging from the hip crease, not changing the knee joint, but here at the hip joint. And we're going to march, tapping one foot down and the other. Reach. Feeling that magnetic connection through the inner thighs so your knees stay rib distance. They don't go outside of the body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding your legs at tabletop. Going into our stomach series. So I'm extending from the hip, reaching long through the knee, extending out through the toes, pulling that leg back in. Extend through the hip, the knee, reaching out through the toes, pulling back in. Alternate sides. Reach and switch. Reach. You can pause at tabletop before you switch the legs, or the challenge would be to intermittently change the legs as you're moving, which challenges the pelvis to stay completely steady. Keeping the ribs heavy, keeping the shoulders heavy, keeping your gaze straight up to the sky. 3, 2, 1. Bending those legs back into tabletop. So I'm going to add my arms. Again, you can always keep your arms by your side or across the chest. Just adds a little bit extra sauce of balance. So I'm extending both of the legs and reaching both of the arms up overhead. Circling the arms around, pulling those knees in 1. So the hardest part is maintaining a strong, stable center, right? So we're wrapping into those obliques, feeling the ribs stay heavy towards the hips, keeping that pelvis engaged so the front hip bones are narrowing in as you reach out. 4 more. 3, 2, last one, and in. Again, I'm going to cross my arms over my chest. You can always keep your arms by the side. I like to wrap into Pilates V feet, heels together, toes apart, legs straight up to the sky. So I'm really focusing on these front hip bones. As I lower my legs, I'm opening up through these front hip bones, finding the point where I can manage control. And then I'm exhaling, lifting the legs back up to the sky. Inhale, opening through the front of the hip bones. And I feel these hip bones narrowing in toward each other to lift the legs to the sky. 3, lower. Exhaling as you lift. Inhaling to lower. Exhaling as you lift. Pressing down, rooting down through the back of the head, the shoulders, watching your range of motion, going to where you can control your movement. 3, 2, 1 more, down and up. Parallel those legs, reach your right leg straight down, stretch those legs in opposition and scissor those legs, switch 1. Switch, reach 2. Pelvis is heavy for 3. Ribs are heavy for 4. Reach 5. Energy through the bottoms of the feet. We've got 4 and 3. Shoulders are heavy for 2 and 1. Rest the feet down. Lift the hips up, taking the ball out from underneath you. We have one more exercise of our stomach series, and that is crisscross. This one, I have short arms, so if I can hold my ball, you guys will be fine. So I'm going to place the ball between my elbows and the front of my thighs. So my thighs are together, and I'm holding in. My hands have to be at my ears because my arms are so short. So you're going to rotate to the right. So my left elbow and the right leg are holding the ball as I rotate my right elbow and left leg out. Good. Yep, you got it. Pulling everything in together. Now the right elbow holds to the left leg as the right leg and left elbow rotate open. Pull everything together and switch. Reach 2. Together and switch. So it's opposite elbow, opposite thigh. For 3. Stay lifted. 4. Keeping those thighs close together. 3 more. 2. Last set. Last one. And you're done. Ugh. Soles of your feet together, knees wide. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good. So we're gonna lay on our side. We're gonna do some of our obliques as well as our side lying series. So I'm placing the ball right at that low middle rib cage line right here, okay? And I'm gonna lay on my right side, facing you this way. So my left side is up. So we have, for the oblique aspect of this one, we have 3 different leg variations. You can have your feet stacked, which is the most challenging. You can stagger them one in front of the other, or your bottom leg can be bent and your top leg can be straight, okay? The hard part is figuring out like the best position for the ball. Definitely make sure that it is even, not one side like protruding out more than the other side. So I'm gonna lay my head all the way down. I'm gonna take my top arm by my hip, and I'm resting my ear on my arm. So you can feel as you're laying here, there's a little bit of imbalance, right? Because you're laying on a ball. So you feel a little wavering going on. Most important is that the shoulders are stacked, ribs and the hips are stacked. I'm reaching energy out through the bottoms of my feet, and this bottom hand is just gonna glide. As I lift, the bottom hand stays on the floor. I'm reaching my hand towards my knee, and then I'm lowering back over the ball for 5. Folding my left rib down towards my right hip to lift and lower. Hardest part is keeping your hips stacked so you feel this stitch right in the side of the abdominals. For 5. Oh wait, that was 4. This one's 5. 5. And lower. Apparently I'm a crappy counter today. So now you're gonna hover your head. So I'm trying to keep my head straight in line with my spine. I don't wanna be here, right? So I'm keeping my neck long. And then I'm just gonna hover this bottom arm. My palm is rotated up, and I'm holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lowering everything down. We're gonna do that 2 more times. The head hovers, the bottom arm hovers, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower everything down. Hover the head, hover the arm for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Now I'm going to bend this bottom arm so that my head rests solely on the arm and my elbow is pointing straight ahead towards y'all. The top arm goes behind the head. Again, readjusting that the hips stay stacked. So I'm focusing on folding my left rib to my right hip. This is also the point where if you need, you can change your legs to the bottom leg bent, top leg straight. That is the most assisted position. So deep breath in. My left rib lifts my bottom rib up off of the floor and lowering back down for 8. Exhale, lift and lower. My head is heavy on that right arm. Exhale, focusing on that left rib, lifting me for 4. Rooting down through the thighs, 5. Exhale, folding up. We've got 4 more. And 3, 2, last one, and lower. Coming up onto the forearm on your right hand, supporting your head, and you're gonna angle your feet towards the front corner of the room. Going into our side lying kicks, front leg kicks forward, and sweeping the leg back. Flex forward, point, reach back. So obviously we still have this ball underneath our rib, right? So it's harder to maintain balance. It's harder to maintain stability in the trunk. So that's where your core kicks in to help stabilize the pelvis, the spine, the shoulders. Keeping everything steady like the leg is a pendulum swinging back and forth. For 3, 2, 1, hold it back behind your body. Bicycle the leg, bend it in, extend it forward, sweep it back. Bend it in, extend it forward, sweep it back. 3, and back. 4. 1 more in this direction. Holding the leg forward, we're reversing it. Bend it in, extend it back, sweep it forward. Bend it in, extend it back, sweep it forward. 3, 4. Feeling the stretch through the hamstring, stretch through the front of the hip and thigh. 2 more. Last one. And drawing the leg back to meet the bottom leg, reaching it long. Point the foot, small circles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse it forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rest. Before we go to the other side, we're gonna lay on our belly. So I'm gonna place my ball on my forearms, up by my elbow, but still below the elbow, on the forearm, not the upper arm. I'm gonna stack my hands one on top of the other, just because the ball is kind of small, it'll give you a little bit more room. Let your head go down through the arms, find your pelvis grounded into the floor, the legs long behind you. We're gonna go into swan. So feel those arm bones sag back into the socket as you begin to lift the head, lift the heart, pushing down and rolling the ball towards you, and then lengthen back out from the lower belly, the rib line, the chest, the head. Rolling up, lifting up through the crown of the head, reaching up, depressing those shoulders down away from those ears, and then melt the spine down one bone at a time back into the mat. 3, dragging the ball towards you, feeling everything lifting up, growing up towards the ceiling. Shoulders rooting down, depressing into the ball, and melting back into the mat. 2 more, rolling all the way up. And lengthen and stretch everything out long. Last one, rolling everything up. And all the way back to the mat. So now you're just gonna lift your head up from being in the arms, and you're just lifting to the rib line. So I'm staying lifted here, keeping my pubic bone heavy. I'm gonna float my right arm off the ball, and then lower. And then take the left arm off the ball, and lower. Lift, and switch, lift. Stay lifted in the upper back, keeping your heart reaching forward, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. For 3, 2, 1, and lower. Now we go to the other side. So flipping around, again placing the ball at your low rib here, laying on your side, making sure that the ball is even from front to back. You can stagger the feet. Stacking the feet is hardest. Staggering the feet is your modified, or having your bottom leg bent gives you the most stability in your pelvis. Top arm is long, bottom arm is long as well. First one, we're lifting the rib. Deep breath in. Right rib folds to left hip, lifting the upper body, and then lengthening back over the ball. Exhale, folding up, lift, and control as you lower. 3, and lower. 2 more. And lower. Last one. And lower. Now we have the one where we hover. So the head hovers from the spine. Keep it straight with the spine. Float the bottom arm from the floor and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Head hovers, bottom arm hovers. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. One more time. Head hovers, bottom arm hovers. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. The bottom arm bends in, resting your head. The top arm goes behind the head as well. Readjust as needed, making sure shoulders, ribs, and hips are stacked. And again, if you need, the bottom leg can be bent for your modified, more stable position. Deep breath in to prepare. That right rib, exhale, lifts to the right hip and lower. Exhale, the bottom shoulder folds away from the floor and lower. Really focusing on lifting from that right rib cage, finding those obliques. Exhale. Try not to pull on the head with your arms. We're halfway there. 3 more. 2. Last one. And lower. Coming up onto the bottom elbow and drawing your legs to the front corner of the mat so you're at a little bit of an angle. Top leg lifts up to hip level. Sweep the leg forward and sweep the leg back. Straight leg sweeps forward and straight leg sweeps back. So again, that hardest part is not allowing your whole trunk to shift, bob, or weave, right? So we're really emphasizing that bracing sensation going on in the trunk to stay stable. Three more. Watching your range of motion also helps. Last one. Holding the leg back behind your body, bicycle it. Bend the leg in, extend the leg forward, sweep the leg back. Bending in, extending forward, sweeping back. You can also stabilize with your hand on the floor. It'll help keep you stable as well. I like to keep my hand away just for a little extra challenge on my core. For 5, 6, we've got 2 more. 7, last one, holding the leg in front of you. Let's reverse it. Bend it in, extend it back, sweep it forward. Bend it in, extend it back, sweep it forward. 3, 4. One more like this. And back to meet that bottom leg. Reaching long and circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse it back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rest. Again, we're gonna lay on our belly. You're gonna hold the ball with your right hand. Make sure that you don't have anything obtruding your range of motion, so forward and sides. You've got plenty of space, okay? So just like in the very beginning when we were standing, we did those ball circles. We're gonna do the same thing here, laying down, but oh my God, it's way harder, okay? So holding that right arm out long with the ball, keeping your legs long. Pelvis is heavy, pubic bone is grounded into the mat. Floating the head, the chest, the arms up, and we're sweeping the ball to the lower back, switching it into the left hand and overhead. Continuing to circle in the right direction. Two more. Last one. Holding it forward, reverse it to the left. Two more. Last one. And rest. Press back to a child's pose to stretch out the lower back. Big toes together, knees wide, hips to the heels. All right, so you're gonna take your ball and place it between your knees, inner thighs, okay? So this is an isometric hold, okay? We're gonna find a quadruped position, so hands directly underneath the shoulders. Hips and knees are stacked. I'm tucking my toes under behind me. And without shifting my weight forward or back, so staying in that perfect quadruped position, I'm hovering my knees off of the floor and holding here, squeezing with those inner thighs. Breathing in, Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hardest forward. 2 more breaths. Last deep breath. And lower it down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Deep breath in to begin. Exhale, hover and hold. So my hips are in line with my knees, my shoulders in line with my wrists. I'm feeling this perfect straight long back. My heart forward, my tail is long. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. 1 more deep breath and release it down. 1 more time. Tucking the toes under. Hover those knees and hold. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep squeezing that ball. Last deep breath. This time I want you to lift your hips up and back into a downward facing dog, separating the feet a little bit for room with the ball. Then you're going to shift forward, finding plank. Heart's reaching forward. Inner thighs are still squeezing that ball. And then you're lifting from your sit bones, piking back. Downward dog for 5. Inhale, shift forward into plank. Exhale, lift those hips. Zip the ribs towards the hips for 4. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, piking back for 3. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, piking back for 2. Inhale, shifting forward into plank. Exhale, pike back and hold. We're going to go into plank and we're going to alternate our feet lifting one at a time, still maintaining this inner thigh squeeze on the ball. So shifting forward into your plank position, right toes float off the floor and lower. Left toes lift and lower. 2 and switch. Switch and switch. So I'm just pointing my foot off the floor, not really lifting the leg very high. As I alternate, I'm focusing on stabilizing everything else. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees and stretch it back to a child's pose. Rolling up to seated, coming through to seated, left leg forward, right leg behind for mermaid. My left hand has the ball. I'm working on trying to ground into that right hip. If this is too hard with hip flexibility, you can always sit Indian style like this. It's a little bit easier on the hips. So, here, right arm goes up, left arm has the ball, and I'm side flexing up and over to the left side. Contracting the right to lift me up tall for 5. Exhale, side flexing up and over, reach, and lifting up tall for 4. Inhale as you stretch up and over, reaching through that right side body for 3. Up and over, lengthening, keeping the hip heavy for 2. 1 more time, side flex, reach, and lifting all the way back up. Let's switch sides. Right leg forward, left leg back. Again, you can sit Indian style if you want. Left arm up to the sky. Side flex up and over to the right. And grow tall as you lift for 5. Lifting up and over. And grow tall for 4. Stretching through that left side body. Shoulders in pockets for 3. Keeping the left hip heavy as you reach to the right for 2. 1 more time. Stretch and reach over and lift all the way back up. Swing that left leg around so the soles of your feet draw together, knees wide. Feel like you're depressing those knees into the floor. And to get deeper, you can hinge forward, leading with your chest, folding towards your feet. I'm going to slide my left leg across. I'm going to take my right foot over my left knee, and then I'm going to press my right knee down. So it kind of looks like Indian style, except for you want to make sure you have a perfect triangle through the inner thighs. So you're not crossed at the legs, you're stacked at your shins. Ankle with knee, knee with ankle. I know it's a hard one. And then if you want, you can fold it forward if your body allows you to. Lifting all the way up, switching sides. So the right leg goes across, left ankle on the right knee, left knee at the right ankle. So again, you have that perfect triangle in between your thighs here. And you can just sit here and depress this left knee down towards the floor, imagining that it goes down towards the floor. Maybe one day it will. And if you have that flexibility, you can start to fold forward. Release. And then you guys are all through. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.